Warriors, welcome back to Gods of Alliance. If you're here, it means you want power, knowledge, and control over the battlefield. This is not luck. This is strategy. Let's break the game together. Today, we're finally taking a deep dive into one of the most unique heroes released in Hero Wars Alliance, Cascade. Ever since his release, Cascade has always been a hero capable of surprising opponents, thanks to his hybrid damage mechanics and incredible battlefield control. But now, with the arrival of his brand new relics, everything changes once again. We'll break down every single skill, every relic, the best way to build him, the best talismans, artifacts, skins, and glyph priorities, and of course finish with plenty of real battle examples, showing exactly what this hero can do. So, if you're thinking about investing in Cascade, or simply want to know whether he's becoming part of the current meta, let's jump straight into it. Cascade has always been one of the most unusual marksmen in Hero Wars. Unlike traditional physical damage dealers, his entire kit constantly switches between physical and magic damage, while applying multiple control effects and reducing enemy defenses. This flexibility already made him an interesting hero, but the new relics amplify his strengths even further. They improve both his survivability and his utility, allowing Cascade to fit into several modern team compositions, instead of being locked into only one specific strategy. First, let's go into his skills. Hydrokinesis is the heart of Cascade's entire kit. Every few seconds, he unleashes a powerful rainstorm that damages all enemies, while applying different control effects depending on their main attribute. Strength heroes lose armor and magic defense. Agility heroes become blinded, and intelligence heroes are silenced. This makes Cascade incredibly disruptive because, no matter what type of team you're facing, he's always applying pressure and forcing the enemy lineup to fight at reduced efficiency. Tidal Wave gives Cascade incredible mobility. He dashes straight through the enemy formation, dealing damage while knocking opponents backwards before instantly returning to his original fighting distance. This movement isn't just for damage. It constantly disrupts enemy positioning, breaks formations, and creates opportunities for your other damage dealers to capitalize on the chaos. Refluence is where Cascade starts becoming truly dangerous. After using Tidal Wave, enemies hit on the return path receive the sudden armor effect. Every time they take damage afterwards, they receive additional damage of the exact same type. And if that damage comes from another mystery hero, the bonus damage becomes even higher. This creates excellent synergy with several current mystery compositions and allows Cascade to significantly increase the team's overall damage output rather than relying only on his own attacks. Elemental Surge is probably the most unique passive ability in Cascade's entire kit. His magic penetration is always equal to his armor penetration, meaning every point invested into one immediately strengthens the other. Even more interesting, Cascade automatically adapts his basic attacks to whichever defense is weaker on the target. If armor is higher, he deals magic damage. If magic defense is lower, he attacks physically. And if both defenses are penetrated, he even adds pure damage into the attack sequence. It's an incredibly clever mechanic that allows Cascade to remain effective against almost every type of opponent. Now, Warriors, let's move on to what everyone has been waiting for: the new relics. Frozen Maelstrom upgrades Cascade's first skill by giving him Nova's accuracy. Every 12 seconds, he launches a projectile towards the enemy backline, dealing damage and stunning enemies for 1 second. This may sound simple, but targeting the backline is incredibly valuable in today's meta. It adds another layer of crowd control and constantly pressures fragile damage dealers and supports hiding behind tanks. It's a fantastic first relic that immediately increases Cascade's battlefield presence. The second relic upgrades Tidal Wave and introduces Hyperion's power. The farther enemies are from Cascade when the wave hits them, the more damage they receive. Since Tidal Wave already moves Cascade through the enemy formation, before returning to position, this relic naturally rewards proper positioning. and dramatically increases his burst potential against backline heroes. Combined with the knockback effect, this turns Cascade into an even stronger initiator, capable of disrupting formations while delivering surprisingly high damage across multiple targets. Now we arrive at what I believe is one of Cascade's biggest power spikes. At Legendary Relic level 20, Refluence gains Myri's Cunning. The sudden armor effect doesn't just amplify incoming damage anymore. It also reduces the affected enemy's physical attack by an impressive 40%. That's a massive swing during longer fights. Not only are your enemies taking more damage, but their primary damage dealers are also hitting significantly weaker. It adds both offensive and defensive value to Cascade, making him much more impactful in today's aggressive meta. And finally, the relic that could completely transform Cascade. At Legendary Relic level 30, Iceberg Shard grants Sigurd's Endurance. Whenever Cascade activates Hydrokinesis, he becomes completely immune to all damage for 5 full seconds. Think about how huge that is. Cascade has always been capable of dealing excellent damage, but surviving burst teams was often one of his biggest weaknesses. 5 seconds of total immunity can completely change difficult matchups, allowing him to continue controlling the battlefield while safely dealing damage. This is the relic I'm most excited to unlock, because I genuinely believe it has the potential to elevate Cascade into an entirely different tier. Now let's move on to skins. Our first priority is absolutely the Agility skin. Agility scales almost everything Cascade does. It increases his physical attack while also improving many secondary stats, giving a massive boost to both his damage and overall effectiveness. Whenever you're building Cascade, this is where your skin stones should go first. Next comes the physical attack skin. Almost every one of Cascade's abilities scales directly from his physical attack, even those dealing magic damage. Increasing this stat significantly improves the damage of his entire kit. It's the second biggest offensive upgrade after Agility. Third is the health skin. Cascade isn't a frontline hero, but surviving just a few extra seconds often allows him to cast another Hydrokinesis or another tidal wave, and that's usually enough to swing an entire battle. More health simply means more opportunities to impact the fight. Fourth comes armor penetration. Thanks to Elemental Surge, increasing armor penetration also boosts Cascade's magic penetration, making this skin far more valuable than it initially appears. Reducing enemy defenses allows every one of Cascade's attacks to hit considerably harder. Finally, we have the Armor Skin Plus. It's definitely a useful defensive upgrade, and the Skin Plus provides excellent value. But compared to the offensive scaling offered by the previous skins, I would leave this one for last. Extra survivability is always welcome, but maximizing Cascade's damage should remain the priority. For artifacts, my first priority is the Ring of Agility. Just like the Agility skin, this artifact scales virtually every aspect of Cascade's performance, making it the single most valuable artifact to invest in first. Second comes the Alchemist's Folio. Armor penetration and physical attack are exactly the stats Cascade wants. They increase his damage while allowing him to break through enemy defenses much more consistently. Last, but certainly not least, are the Claws of the River Fae. The combination of armor penetration and magic penetration is incredibly powerful thanks to Cascade's passive. I simply place it third because the first two artifacts provide stronger overall stat progression during the building process. When it comes to glyphs, my recommendation is simple. Take every single one as high as possible. The priority order would be Agility first, then Physical Attack. After that, Health, followed by Armor Penetration, and finally Armor. Following this order gives Cascade the best balance between offensive scaling and survivability throughout the progression. Sparks of power, nothing changes here. Just like every endgame hero, maximize the spark of power. The additional primary stats are simply too valuable to ignore. Now, the Talismans. My preferred offensive option is the Talisman of Tides. Agility and physical attack are exactly what Cascade wants. Agility boosts almost every aspect of his kit, while physical attack directly increases the scaling of nearly all his abilities. If your goal is maximizing damage output, this is definitely the talisman I'd recommend using most of the time. The second talisman, Talisman of Whirlpools, is the defensive option. Health makes Cascade much harder to eliminate, while armor helps him resist incoming physical damage, allowing him to survive long enough to continue controlling the battlefield. Depending on the matchup, both talismans have real value. Against fragile teams, I prefer the offensive version, but when facing heavy burst compositions, switching to the defensive talisman can make a huge difference. Warriors. Now, the battles. Let's jump into the gameplay and see exactly how this hero performs in real combat. First team we have Julius, Berna, Folio, Cascade, Polaris. This team is built around constant pressure and scaling damage. Julius provides incredible protection during the opening seconds, allowing Cascade enough time to begin controlling the battlefield. Berna brings excellent sustained damage, while Folio continuously amplifies the team's offensive potential. Polaris ties everything together with powerful support and utility. Pay close attention to Cascade's movement. Every tidal wave pushes enemies out of position, making it harder for the opposing team to establish any rhythm. At the same time, Hydrokinesis constantly weakens different enemies, depending on their primary stat. You can also notice how Elemental Surge adapts his damage throughout the fight. Against heavily armored targets, he naturally shifts into magic damage, while against magical opponents, he punishes them with physical damage. This flexibility is exactly what makes Cascade so difficult to counter. Once sudden armor starts spreading across the enemy team, Berna and Folio immediately benefit from the additional damage. Every attack becomes more threatening, and the enemy health bars begin disappearing much faster than expected. This is exactly the kind of fight where Cascade doesn't need to be the top damage dealer. Instead, he increases the efficiency of the entire team while continuously disrupting the enemy formation. Then, Berna, Crow, Folio, Cascade, Polaris. Now we replace Julius with Crow, making this lineup significantly more aggressive. Crow loves enemies with reduced defenses, and Cascade provides exactly that. Between the armor reduction, sudden armor, knockbacks, and constant control, Crow finds plenty of opportunities to deal devastating burst damage. Meanwhile, Folio continues boosting the team's overall offensive output, while Polaris provides the control and support necessary to keep the momentum going. Notice how difficult it becomes for the enemy backline to stabilize. Cascade is constantly interrupting formations, forcing supports and damage dealers into awkward positions. This composition focuses on overwhelming opponents before they can recover, and Cascade plays a huge role by ensuring every teammate deals more effective damage throughout the fight. And now, Electra, Crow, Guas, Soleil, Cascade. This lineup showcases another side of Cascade. Electra and Crow provide explosive offensive pressure, while Guas and Soleil contribute additional utility and sustained support. Cascade acts as the glue holding everything together. Instead of simply dealing damage himself, he continuously weakens enemy defenses, controls positioning, and creates ideal opportunities for Electra and Crow to eliminate priority targets. The synergy between all 5 heroes makes this composition surprisingly explosive despite its balanced structure. And now we have Electra, Kayla, Crow, Cascade, Aiden. This team is built for pure aggression. Kayla dives straight into the enemy formation, while Crow immediately starts applying enormous pressure. Aiden keeps everyone alive just long enough for the damage dealers to finish the job. Cascade fits perfectly here. His control effects constantly interrupt enemy abilities, while his armor reduction allows Kayla and Crow to burst targets down even faster. The result is an incredibly fast-paced composition, capable of ending battles before many defensive teams even have time to stabilize. And for last, Satori, Berna, Tempest, Somna, Cascade. Our final lineup highlights just how versatile Cascade really is. Here he joins several powerful mystery heroes, allowing Refluence to truly shine. Because sudden armor deals increased damage whenever mystery heroes attack, heroes like Satori and Somna benefit enormously from Cascade's passive. Tempest adds another layer of control, while Burna keeps the pressure high throughout the battle. This composition creates constant chaos. The enemy team rarely gets the opportunity to execute their own strategy because they're permanently dealing with crowd control, repositioning, and amplified incoming damage. It's an excellent example of how Cascade doesn't need to fit into only one archetype. He can comfortably support several completely different team styles. Warriors. After many different tests, these are currently the teams that have produced the strongest results for me. That doesn't mean they're the only options. In fact, one of Cascade's biggest strengths is his flexibility. Thanks to his hybrid damage mechanics, multiple control effects, and defensive utility, he can slot into a wide variety of modern team compositions. And honestly, I believe his ceiling is even higher. The two final relics are the ones I'm most excited about. I still haven't unlocked them, but reducing enemy physical attack by 40% and especially gaining 5 seconds of complete immunity could completely transform how Cascade performs in high-level battles. The same goes for his Talismans. The Talisman of Tides is my preferred offensive choice, combining agility and physical attack to maximize every aspect of Cascade's damage. Meanwhile, the Talisman of Whirlpools offers a much more defensive approach through health and armor, making Cascade considerably harder to eliminate during longer battles. Choosing between them really depends on the matchup you're facing, and that's another reason why Cascade feels so versatile. Overall, I think these new relics have given Cascade exactly what he needed to become a much more serious option in today's meta, and I definitely expect to see more players investing in him over the coming weeks. And that's going to be it for today's Cascade Guide. I really hope this video helped you understand not only how to build him, but also why these new relics have the potential to make him one of the most interesting marksmen in the current meta. If you enjoyed the guide, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to Gods of Alliance, and let me know down in the comments which team composition you're having the most success with using Cascade. Warriors, this is how we play the game. Not randomly, not blindly, with knowledge, with precision, with control. We don't build randomly. We build with intention. Master the mechanics. Control the fight. Let's break the game together.